ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your next keynote speaker to the stage. Chairman and CEO of AIME, Jonathon Haddad.
Here is a fact that not a single one of you is going to like. Retail closes substantially more refinances than the entire mortgage broker channel. Matter of fact, it's not even close, which is fascinating to me considering mortgage brokers own the purchase market share. So why is it that we don't own the refinance market share? And the data is pretty simple. When you take a look at it, in 2023, from Haddad directly, through our partners at Polygon Research, there was roughly 649,000 cash-out refinances that occurred. Mortgage brokers accounted for 122,000 of them, roughly 19% market share. The rest of retail was 81%. But there was one specific retail lender that did 133,000 by themselves. I'm sure you can guess who that might be. One lender did more than this entire community sitting in this room right now. I don't know about you, but that pisses me off a little bit. You see, there's a reason for it. Our goal is very simple. We are here to push market share and to get to 50% market share. We need, you're right, give that a round of applause. You're absolutely right. We need to do substantially more in order to get to 50% market share. Now you see there's many things you can focus on, but there's two things specifically that I believe will take us to the next level. So how are we going to do this? Number one, we have to start staying in touch with our past clients. We have to stop prejudging. We have to stop pretending that we're actually calling with a purpose all the time. Every time you make a phone call to your past clients, how purposeful are you with that call? Are you calling just to have a conversation? Or are you calling to truly move the needle forward and find out what your consumer needs help with? And number two, we must focus on the processing side of things. Whether you have your own in-house processing or the amazing third-party processing, we now have that as part of AIME, or leveraging UWM's PA+. It is incredibly important that you have a process built for you. And the reason for that is very simple. Any time that you are not spending inside of your book of business means more time for you to focus on gaining more consumers and gaining more market share and getting out there and talking to the agent and talking to the past clients. Because for every second that you're not doing it, I promise you, retail is. You might be wondering, how do I know this? Who is this guy talking about this stuff? Well, quite frankly, I was one of them. I was in retail for the first 6 years. And you know what? I was really good at it. I was really good at it. 21 years old, getting into the industry, coming from nothing, I put my head down and I ran as hard as I could. And I have the accolades and I have the awards from the past. But you see, the past doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because for us, we need to stay focused as a broker community and come together. This isn't a rally cry of fighting back or pushing. This simply is me telling you that we need to do more as a group together. We need to focus on sales scripting. We need to focus on role plays. And we need to stop focusing on negativity. Could you imagine the people in your life that depend on you and count on you if every day you started your day just focusing on all the negative things that occurred? You're going to get nothing done for them. You need to focus on the positivity. You need to focus on being a winner. You need to focus on being the best at your craft each and every single day. And we at AIME are here to deliver that to you every step of the way. We've gotten together with the community to continue to build out scripts, and I want you all to grab your phones. See, on this next slide, we're going to be giving you tangible action items that you can take back every step of the way. These are sales scripts that were built for you. But I don't want you to just keep them for yourself. I want you to give them to the community, to other people that you talk to that are on your team, to other brokers that aren't on your team. We have more market share to gain. There's a lot to go around. And I love seeing all the phones out. That's a group of winners right there, focusing on being the best at their craft. And we're not going to stop doing this. And you're going to continue to see a lot more of this. Now, we talked about it a bit when I opened remarks. Who here remembers the first 7 days of me getting appointed? Anybody? Raise your hand. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to come find you. I'm not going to come yell at you later. All right? That was a blast, to say the least. All right? I read every single comment. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Just getting decimated. People telling me, you should quit. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't retaliate one time. We didn't come out swinging. We didn't say you're wrong. Because, like I said, if I were to spend time focusing on the negativity, that means I would have lost sight of all the positive things that we need to do in order for us to propel forward. And we're not going to retaliate because we don't have time for that. There's a lot of market share for us to gain. And we're not going to stop until that gets done. Now, I will say this. There was an email I got that was my favorite email. And I'm going to share it with you, okay? So, this email is from a person named Psycho that they spelt it wrong, all right? This is a real email, okay? Subject line, trigger leads. How much of an asshat are you? Question mark. Take all, I had to blank it out, it was that bad, but use your imagination, and quit, you wet turd. I haven't been called a wet turd before. And that was new to me. And you can fill in the blanks, I promise you, it's way worse than you could possibly imagine. Although, we're mortgage brokers here, so I'm sure you can probably think of it. Now, with that being said, I do want to say one thing about the trigger leads. So, personally speaking, in July of this year, my company cut it off for headquarters. So we no longer are working trigger leads at HQ, and then we started cutting off our branches as well. So effective today, trigger leads are no longer a thing at Next Door Lending. And there were so many people that were asking me, why didn't you retaliate? How was your mindset? Well, listen, I'm a human being. The first 3 days sucked. I wasn't going home smiling, excited, ready for the next day. But I'm not the type of person that gives up. I'm not the type of person that quits. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So the first picture that you see, that's my grandmother and all of her grandkids. She's the most incredible human being you'll ever meet. This is one of the strongest people. And on the other side, that's myself and my wife and our twins. They turned 1 year old on Thursday, and then we are expecting our third due in November as well. So again, could you imagine me focusing on anything but positivity? Could you imagine if I woke up and was negative and then I bring that home to my family? You see, like many of you, my story is unique. And the more I get to talk to each and every single one of you, the more we get to share our stories with each other. And that's why you see me do things like post my cell phone number publicly, because I'm not afraid of a conversation. Most people just want to be heard. And I've learned my entire life to read in between the lines. And I'm more than happy to continue to having conversations because I know that's what it's going to take for us to propel and move forward. See, my grandmother grew up overseas in Palestine. And her father was killed when she was 4 years old. And see, back home, what they do is nothing goes to the family if the husband is the one that passes away. So she was left out to dry. She had to grow up into an orphanage. She had to figure out her own life. And this woman taught me to focus on things that I can control. Anytime I would come home and be upset about something that happened at school, my grandma would look at me and she wouldn't allow me to complain. She wouldn't allow me to be upset. It got to the point to where I lived that mindset so much, by the time I turned 14 years old, my parents started to struggle. And I had to figure something out because we were receiving bankruptcy paperwork. We were receiving notifications. My mom would come home, she'd be crying, and I'd be sitting there trying to figure out what to do as a 14-year-old. And I said, well, my uncle owns a dollar store. Let me go work for him. Because I don't know if you know this, if you remember being 14, one thing you can't talk to your friends about is bankruptcy. They have no idea what that is at 14 years old. And so what did I do? Even though I was upset and frustrated, why do I have to do this? I would go to school, I'd get picked up from school, I'd go to my uncle's dollar store, I'd work until midnight, I'd come home and I'd give my parents every dollar I had. And I am proud to say that I helped get him out of bankruptcy at 14 years old. That's a true story. I'm very happy about that. Because that's the type of human being that I am. And that's the type of human beings that each and every single one of you have the ability to be if you're not already. But are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to put in the work? Some of you might say yes. Is it a real yes? Is it, oh, I'm excited right now, so yeah, I'll do it today? Or are you going to build the community that you need around you in order to hold yourself accountable to reach the higher standards? Because you see, our mission is very simple. We are here to help brokers close more loans. And we've been revamping and progressing this community from the second that all this started to happen. Matter of fact, for the first time, we have a board of directors that was voted on by you, the community. And the next time around, we want more participation. You asked for it, we delivered. And we want more participation. Our bylaws are publicly posted for all of you to see and take a look at. Easy to find right on our website. We're giving tangible resources to the entire community. The WMN going live. What a huge turnout for the WMN Summit yesterday. Wonderful job, ladies. Wonderful job. Even that, leaning into the pain. I walked in here Wednesday after driving, white-knuckling through that storm. I landed in Pensacola, Florida, and I was holding on that steering wheel, telling Jesus to take the wheel, getting here through it. I walked in, I saw the faces, and I'm sitting there thinking, people are going to walk up to me, but instead I was getting glares. I was like, uh-oh, what did I do? And then instead of turning away, we sat down and we had conversations. And it made me understand the importance and bringing that back to life, because that's what we do. We adapt on the fly. We have conversations, eyeball to eyeball. And this community is not going to stop doing that. With our Facebook Lives, with providing you more value. Our Facebook Lives are moving to our public page. The reason for this is so you can share it, because when you share it, organically we reach more consumers, we reach more real estate agents, and we reach more loan officers. Because brand recognition is real, and we need everybody to see who we are. On top of that, we are constantly trying to bring you value when it comes to the cutting-edge tools and technology. I still write loans. I still originate, and I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll take it. Thanks. It's getting kind of difficult, though. I'm a little tired. Now, with that being said, we are vetting this out. Your board of directors, your advisory council, we're calling all of these providers, and we're going through the user experience. We're making sure they're best fit for the broker community. They're not just here for a cash grab. We want to make sure, are you the right fit? What kind of support do you have for us? We got to see CoreLogic speak earlier today. Those are the conversations we are having. We also did something special. Lender and vendor memberships. Yes, that's right. That means every year forward, our lenders and vendors have the chance to have a vote. They have the chance to have a vote on your board of directors. That's never been done before at our community. This is a huge opportunity for you to help us propel this organization forward. Now, are you going to take advantage of it? Or are you going to sit there and want to do nothing? That choice is up to you, and I'll leave that up to you. Now, you see, the community started to shift. The community really started to see the value. And day by day, phone call after phone call, eyeball to eyeball conversations, things started to turn. And we still have the naysayers, and that's fine. You're not going to stop me, I can promise you that. I got a lot of energy if you can't tell. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And look what starts to happen. We start to get inundated non-stop with all of these messages. People showing us love, never even having to ask a single thing. And people are posting about us, thanking us for helping, thanking us for jumping on those grenades that we have when it comes to our loans. I know how hard it gets on some of these files towards the end. It's frustrating. And if you're the loan officer, the emotion's so high, you need somebody else there that can look at it from a logical perspective. We all know this is the case. You're so much calmer trying to help somebody else fix their loan, acting like you never freaked out when your loan was losing it. We all do it, exactly. I love the laughter because you know it's true. And this community has gotten together, and last night we did something special because of this community. At Hall of AIME last night, our goal is to continue to give back. We want to give back to foundations. And each year, this is something that we're going to be continuing to do. And last night at Hall of AIME, we had a fundraiser for the Dream Machine Foundation, which helps kids with cancer. But it's deeper than that. They help them become entrepreneurs so they can actually help support their family in the event that something occurs to them. We had a story of a wonderful young child, and she ended up was selling bracelets, and this organization came in and helped them sell the bracelets, and they sold $100,000 worth of bracelets, and now she has a business, and her cancer's in regression. And because of that, this community, we raised $114,000 $114,000 was raised in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's special. That's because of the community. Because for us to propel forward, you have to care about things that are bigger than you. That's truly the case. Now, you see, our market share in 2014, 1 year into my career, we were at 14%. Now, we're hovering roughly around 26%. We got 24% more to go, and then we're going to take it up a notch from there. But we have to be the best at what we do, because there's nothing better than being the best. Now, you see, if you're not in this Facebook group, I want you to join it. And see, I'm going to show you guys something special. Don't worry, it's not that kind of show, okay? No, don't worry, I still got to get in better shape, you know? But I want you guys to join it if you're not. But with that being said, we have something for you. Brokers are best. Is the new rebrand for our organization. I ripped my mic off. It was almost the perfect rollout. But we'll take it. You know, you got to roll with the punches. And I did break my shirt. Oh, no. Don't say, oh, no. It's worth it. Mm-hmm. Now, what do I mean by the best, right? What do I mean by focusing on being the best? All right? It's really simple. Brokers are best for the consumer. This isn't that stuff. I heard the sayings from the brokers and everybody, well, better. It's got a negative connotation to it. It's not about that. We have to be elite to be the best. We have to do a lot more. And our consumers depend on us to do a lot more. Because the truth of the matter is very simple. In retail, if there's a loan they can't do, what do? They broker it out. They broker it out. I've heard that conversation many times. The data continues to come out that we're cheaper for the consumer. And the technology gap is continuing to close day by day. And we're not going to stop focusing on being positive and doing more. And so we do need your help. This is our community. This is your community. And I'm here to have conversations and smile every step of the way. But you got to be willing to also talk to me, because this is going to be a two-way street. We're going to give you everything we have, but you got to give us everything you have in return. This is your community. My name is Jonathon Haddad. and I am the right person for this job. I appreciate all of you.